Hello everyone, welcome on back to Moss Valley. Alright, well, first things first. I think we're going to be moving probably some sorghum into the multi-grain production. We have officially ran out of what, the wheat I think we had in there. That is officially all gone. Obviously there's quite a bit of flour in here, and there's still a bunch of flour in here. That is a separate issue. More than likely what will happen is I have the ability to run bread in this production as well. So I'll probably just kind of run that in there. Where is sorghum flour? Does this production possibly not have it though? That would be unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure there is one. Yeah. So this production just doesn't have it? Well, yeah, I certainly don't, I don't see it. Well, dang. Oh, we could rent the other one. Where's this one at? We have been here before. We could rent it. Well, if that's the case, if we're going to be renting that one, I'm going to go over to this one. I'm going to stop moving this. I'm going to keep it here, and we will be running bread on this one. Because I'm not sure where that one will kind of spread out to be. So, I think we'll just rent that one. It's only going to be one load of sorghum is kind of what I'm thinking. Just because that should put us down to 30,000 liters left. 20,000 actually. But that should be enough to keep all the animals happy. And obviously any extra than we have we would just sell as is and take that little bit of price. It wouldn't be much money because it wouldn't be that much sorghum either. Alright, so today we do have the huge soybean field that does need to be sold, or not sold, sprayed today. And I'm hoping we can probably go to next month and also get maybe like 2 things of soybeans sold. Or maybe 3 loads, something like that, just to kind of ease the pain later when we have all that to sell. Right now we have 200,000 liters of soybeans. So obviously, you know, we're probably going to get another almost 100,000 liters from this harvest. You know, I'd like to at least try to get a decent amount sold now, and then we can obviously have less later. So we can head this way. I'm pretty sure it's this direction. But we can get it rented, and I'm not sure how it obviously is gonna divvy up it auto sending to the bakery, but we'll see. Right, let's make sure I rent this first. Alright, I ain't gonna lie, that was pretty loud. Alright, so sorghum flour, we will activate that. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised there's only wheat flour and oat flour in here. Kind of just assumed it was like a normal grain mill. But we'll have a bunch of bread from, obviously, not only the sorghum, but obviously all of the wheat as well. We have well over $100,000, I'm pretty sure, yeah. 131,000 at max price, and obviously there's still probably 35,000 liters total of flour to be ran through. 20,000 here, and then 16,000 here. This has already probably ran a decent amount of bread. I know this makes pretty quick ground. So it's a mighty fast production. Alright, well, I guess I have to drive through the hedge probably to get out of here, because they probably weren't planning on having semis come through. Yeah, we can obviously make a good amount of money from the bread. That's kind of my thought process, is it's going to be worth more than if we kind of just sold it as is. Be worth quite a bit more in theory. And, you know, we already have these productions, so why wouldn't I try to make the most out of them if I already have it? Alright, so we have this field here I would like to get done. Probably towards the top of the agenda, because it does kind of have to be done today. Oh, I just thought that's gonna have this spawn, isn't it? I didn't think about this. Alright. We'll block them, and then I'll just put everything back in. That's why there's less than I thought. I thought there was more than 20,000 liters, because it already spawned a bunch. Yeah, we'll just have to block it until it's all the way out. It holds quite a bit, so... Yeah, we have like 28,000, yeah. I thought we had more, but I was like, yeah, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I just imagining things, but... No, I did see it correct. So yeah, now we have 28,000 liters of flour to be ran through in here. Obviously, like I said, we'll see how this kind of divvies it up. I'm hoping it probably does more in here. Yeah, this is a far, far faster cycle. I mean, obviously we have like 6 months, I think, till it has to be done by, but... So we'll hop into the New Holland. Be the last time that we do spraying. In theory, we could sell the spraying equipment if we wanted. I don't plan on doing that, but we could. How's the chickens doing, too? Okay, they'll have to be filled up eventually. Yeah, obviously this one chicken pen, I know, it has 10,000 liters. That was my own fault. I think it's 10,000 liters of wheat in there. I did that within like the first episode or two. I put it in there thinking it was the silo, and it was not. It is what it is, though. Yeah, obviously next time I think we'd likely be doing some harvest, because that'll be July, I think, is when harvests start for us. Yep, oats. Actually, we have a canola field. We have one canola field, this one up here. Yeah, we have these two fields that would be ready then. Well, I think I'll just go ahead and start a time lapse for the spraying. So I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done.
The truth is, I'm I'm not an exceptional person. There's nothing particularly interesting ever happens to me. I have a bunch of flaws, and if I'm being honest, I doubt I leave much of an impression on people. But if I can tell a great story, then maybe people will remember that instead. Remember the card trick and just pretend they don't know how it's done. You know?
Alright, so we're just about done here with the spraying. Final strip. Not much left, and this will be, obviously, like I said, the final time spraying, unless for some reason I do a contract, which I probably won't, in Moss Valley. And I think we'll probably, like I said, we'll skip to June here, and we'll sell, I'm thinking 2 loads of soybeans is kind of what I'm thinking. That would bring it down to like 80,000 liters left, 85,000 liters left. And that would leave like 3 for the mass selling. That's saying we get 100,000 liters from here. I'm not 100% sure how much we get, to be honest, so. It is probably around there, though. Probably a little bit more, possibly, even. But yeah, I'm thinking 2. I mean, maybe we could do 3 even. It doesn't matter too much because obviously the price is just going to be good even next year in June. So either we do it now or later, no matter what, it's going to be a decent price in the end. So we can go ahead and skip to June, and then we'll grab the semi and kind of see where the best price is. Hopefully it's somewhere close. If it's really close, we could probably do 3. But obviously, if it's a little bit of a drive, then we'll probably just stick to doing the 2. Usually, they're all kind of fairly similar priced, and obviously, if something's a little bit less, I'm probably just gonna go with the closer of the bunch. That way, we're not, driving across the map to sell 1 load of soybeans. Alright, we got a couple excess animals sold, property income, of course, and let's see the soybean price. Hopefully something pretty good. It is, yeah, it's pretty good. I'll sell everything, of course. The one thing I'm not going to be able to sell at, well, second best, which is still 15 grand less than sell everything, wow, is Moss Valley Grain Merchant, so I think we'll be selling there, which is super close. So we could definitely probably do the 3 even. Get to the semi. No, obviously it's not going to be the absolute max, but it's how much I can do about it. Because I can't like wait another month, because chances are it's going to be worse. That seems to be how it is. I can increase time speed. We can try to get it to raise a little bit even, but it'll, I mean, it's not bad compared to the absolute max price. And I'm sure if I look in here, it's extremely good, actually, when you look at in here, not looking at the stock checker. Stock checker can either be like really accurate and be pretty good, or on some crops, it can be a little bit off. Obviously, in like a lot of cases, it's just the simple fact is if you have numerous different sell points, or some might just be higher. So, and I think the stock checker max price is based off of the in-game files, I think. Like, it could go up that high. It's not likely, though. Alright, let's get to the sell point. Obviously, we have oats, and I know that is obviously something you'd rather kind of do into flour. I don't think that's probably what's going to happen with it, though. Chances are, it'll likely just be sold as oats. Unless we are very clearly going to have enough space in there to get, you know, a load of oats or something ran through, I don't think I'm gonna risk it too much. That's kind of the thing, is obviously I don't want it to bleed too far over into, you know, next year time frame to be selling. I'll get that sold. I was gonna check on this, so we knocked that down a lot for flour, which is good to see. 24,000 liters of bread. I'm not sure where all the flour is going. It's going to one of the two locations, though. It might be splitting too. Like I said, maybe it's splitting it. But there's still 40,000 liters of sorghum. And obviously, I'm not gonna worry about putting oats into one of those if I still have 40,000 liters of sorghum to be ran through. So that, that was like, what, 240,000, 230,000 liters or dollars? Quite a bit of money, quite a bit of money. So we can race on back, we'll grab another load, and like I said, we can probably do 3 total, to be honest. Because that would be, I want to say about 180,000 liters sold. That'll leave us with about 25,000, probably 26,000, somewhere in there, to be sold then next year, which will be sold alongside the rest of that field there, which is, well, obviously currently growing. Because obviously soybeans are ready. I want to see, what is it, September? October, somewhere in there. So it obviously you have to wait basically a full year to sell it at the max price, unless you obviously could just sell it not at the max price if you don't want to. You know, you can kind of do whatever you want, but whenever possible, I try to sell things at the max. Yeah, it's usually my thing, at least. Gonna check on food. They need at least a bale over there. Let's get over here and just get a bale in there. That way they're not going to run out. Honestly, realistically, I could dump it all into here, actually. There should be enough space. Then I'll have to obviously keep an eye on them and kind of see when they run out of food. And as soon as they run out of food, I will be selling the water buffalo, because we obviously don't have food for them then. And more likely, chances are we won't really have a bunch of time to get more hay done either. And I don't think I sprayed that field either, so. Yeah, basically 49,000 liters in there, that'll be, whatever, that'll be the rest of it. We have quite a bit of buffalo milk, so. Making some good money from that, even. Is the price still? It's probably gone up. So yeah, about 233,000, 234,000. It's pretty good, pretty good. And like I said, I think we'll do one more, because the max sell point is really close. So take advantage of it. Do 3 full loads, and then obviously it would be a partial, so I'll just leave it until next year when the rest of it is sold. Alright, well, here is the last load that we'll be selling today for the soybeans. There we go. This should put us at what, 1 point. So this should probably put us like 1.7, 1.8 mil. right in the middle almost. Almost right in the middle. Not even sure what our environmental bonus is. It might be a little bit less than it used to be. Yeah, 86, and that is obviously being hurt by nitrogen from 2 different fields, which it will hopefully get bumped up some next month, because we'll be doing 2 harvests, obviously, in 2 of the fields where it's really bad right now. So in theory, it should be going up. As they hope, at least. But yeah, that is about everything for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.